Marvelous hello, friends and loved ones, how are you today? In my last video, I was really excited because we were finally getting a new Digimon RPG. But today is an even bigger occasion than that. 20 years ago today, we were given a little game you may have heard of. It's called Pokemon. Well, I think technically it was called Bulu Monsters Akamidori. But for simplicity's sake, we're gonna go ahead and stick with Pokemon. Now, I had a lot of debate about how I wanted to handle the 20th anniversary special. Should I do a retrospective of all 6 generations up to this point? Should I cover one of my personal favorite spin-off titles in the series? Should I do some sort of subjective list that people will inevitably be mad at me for because I choose to include or exclude a certain Pokemon? Or maybe I should just... Oh, wait, hold on, I'm getting a text. Wait. I've got it!
Pokemon. Where do I even begin? This series is legendary, and like any ongoing series, there are bound to be imitators. Some of these are done in a way that makes them feel unique, and some are just completely upfront about their blatant copying. For years, the App Store has been a real messed up slew of games, with some being pretty amazing and some being... games? In the technical sense? But today, I want to talk about a few interesting mobile games that have clearly taken some inspiration from the Pokemon series. A few of the games I wanted to talk about aren't even on the App Store anymore, like Little Masters. Jeez, I can't imagine why this could have been taken off. Starting off, we've got Bulu Monsters. This seems cute and happy, and a lot of these monster designs aren't too bad. We get to choose our starter from Not Torchic, Fudgy the Whale, and holy crap, that turtle is also a melon! Best game ever, Bulu Monsters, 10 out of 10! So after we pick our starting monster, the game invites us to play Mobile Strike, starring Tommy Lee Jones, and... Wait, this isn't part of the game. Let's just get rid of that. Pesky ads. Don't worry, I'm sure we won't have to deal with many of those. We do a few more starting quests to teach us the basics, like fighting this pink snake, and then catching this pink snake. And now there's a happy little lamb friend. Hello, happy little lamb friend. What have you got to tell us?
My chest, it hurts.
What are you doing, lamb friend? Dying?
She's terribly ill.
Minus T Golden.
I'm sorry, but I can't treat her. It may be time to let her go.
Wait, our Lamfred actually is dying? I'm going on this fun Bulu Monster-filled journey to save my dying childhood pet? Whatever happened to going on these quests because you just wanted to be
the very best?
Okay, so depressing motive out of the way, we're off to help our pet not die by fighting a bunch of monsters? I caught this onion thing. I don't think I can recommend Bulu Monsters. The ads are invasive, the story seems like such a tonal shift from the gameplay, which isn't that exciting to begin with. It's got some nice visual designs, like I said earlier, the monsters aren't that bad, and the mechanics are alright, but overall there's just not enough here for me to recommend unless all of this looks really awesome to you. One thing I can't ignore though is that everything in this game feels really slow. The loading times are awful, and just watch me earning experience after a battle. Okay, we're gonna move on to another game. I can't sit here all day and wait for this to progress. Mino Monsters! Mino Monsters! Minnow Monsters? I don't know how to pronounce this. This was actually one of the first Pokemon-esque mobile games I remember playing. I'd love to show you some footage from the original game, but when I went looking for it to film this video, it seems to have vanished from the App Store. But that's okay, because we've got Mino Monsters 2! It's got a 2 at the end of it. That means it's gonna be better, right? From what I can gather, this game seems to be less of a sequel and more of a reboot. The starters are the same, they attached more of a story to it, and they removed the actual exploration aspects of stages in favor of this choose-your-fight world map like in some older video games. Mino Monsters 2 is not an improvement. It's just got that stench of freemium written all over it.
If I may be serious here for a moment, in fact, hold on, I'm gonna put on my serious hat. There we go. I am not opposed to in-app purchases, especially in free-to-play games. There have been several games where I've enjoyed the title so much, I wanted to give the developers a little extra cash. I'm not opposed to microtransactions as a thing, because there are games that handle them well. This game ain't one of them!
Your monsters keep the damage they take after battles. How do you heal them? With time, of course! Or potions. How do you get potions? Well, you can buy them with coins. But coins are also how you level up your monster. So you fight a battle to earn coins, get no experience, and spend coins on potions to heal. Congratulations! You've accomplished nothing except wasting time, which would have healed your monster anyway. But don't worry, you can also craft potions. How do you get crafting materials? Open these treasure chests at the end of fights. How do you open them? With keys, of course. How do you get keys? Time! Or crystals. And you get crystals with money. Are you starting to see how it all spirals around only to result in you spending some cash? Everything about this game just feels like it's trying to pressure me into spending money. Especially at this part where one of the characters is literally pressuring you into spending money. You can spend $5 real to get the 2 starter Minos that you didn't pick. But only if you do it in this time limit. If you don't give us money in this time limit, you can never get the other starters. And everyone is gonna think you're that big loser who doesn't have all the starters. I'm so disappointed in this game because I genuinely liked the original Mino Monsters. I wish I could show it to you all, but it's gone for this thing. Just imagine what you see here. The neat monster designs, smooth animation, detailed backgrounds, only with an emphasis on exploration, gameplay that was pretty good, and the game didn't try to wring your wallet out like a washcloth. Next up, we've got Pictopets. Pictopets. Choose 3 actions for each round. Hope that you defend on a turn when your opponent attacks. Hope they don't defend on a turn where you attack. Something. I have no idea how this capture system is supposed to work. I have an ice bunny. This crow thing is pretty cute. I'm moving on. I really don't want to spend a lot of time on this one.
There's so many of these Pokemon-esque games on the App Store, surely one of them has to be good, right? There has to be one decent title here, just one title that can make me happy.
Happy Monster is another one of these games, and let me just say, I really enjoy this one. The gameplay is centered on exploring this board game type map with a boss awaiting you at the end. Catching and evolving monsters is pretty par for the course, but this game handles it nicely. I really love the art style of this game, and a lot of these monster designs are pretty appealing. It's just a lot of fun. There's a good amount of content, quite a few monsters, it has in-app purchases, but doesn't beat you over the head with them, and... Wait, I think I like this game. I think I'm legitimately enjoying this title. I can wrap this one up pretty quickly because I don't have any weird rants to go on. This is the first game I've talked about today that I wouldn't feel guilty for recommending to you folks at home. Oh, happy day!
What do you mean I already used that joke?
I love Rick and Morty, and I'd be lying if I said this game coming into existence last month wasn't a big part of the inspiration for this entire episode. I mean, I knew I eventually wanted to talk about all these mobile monster collectors, but how could a mobile Morty collector not push that lingering thought right to the front of my brain? This game is great. You get a little opening scene where we learn that Mortys from other dimensions are being separated from their Ricks and are being raised by trainers because it's the latest craze. You recruit Mortys onto your side by jamming a chip in their heads that makes them think you own them. This game has a lot of humor from the show, and I'm just enthralled by it. Of course, the game knows exactly what it's taking inspiration from. There are 4 types of Mortys. You've got your standard neutral Morty, and then rock, paper, and scissor types. Can't say I had any trouble learning the type layouts in this game. And with over 70 Mortys to choose from, and promises of more to come, there is a fair amount on offer here. You can have 5 Mortys with you at any one time. You battle trainers, collect badges, take down members of the Council of Ricks, and it's all very fun and enjoyable. The game starts out a little hard since money is fairly limited and items can be expensive, but when you get into the crafting system and are able to beat more opponents, it all balances out. Overall, this game is just pretty good. I can't believe it, we've got 2 good Pokemon-esque mobile games in a row.
Oh, Arceus, please come take me away, lest I tempt fate.
Actually, that shouldn't be an issue. The last 2 games I want to talk about today are the only ones in this video that aren't freemium titles. I paid money to download them. So presumably, they should suck less, right? Right? First up, we've got Evo Creo. What is it with these games having plots centered around all this dark stuff? Bulu Monsters has a dying pet. I think Mino Monsters 2 started with the world being destroyed. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. And now we've got Evo Creo, where apparently we have a missing father. This one feels like it's trying the hardest to be Pokemon. Even the sprites in this game look like they were trying to emulate the style. That is a Pokeball bag, and no one will be able to tell me otherwise. Evo Creo is one of those games that does a lot of talking without actually saying anything. We start out and Scarf here is hanging out, but then her brother not Scarf comes and scolds her for doing nothing while our father is missing. And we have to go see Lanos, who found papers in our dad's office from the Shadow Hive, and then he sends us to go see Golgo, who gives us a Creo.
I just said a bunch of words, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what half of them mean.
I don't even know which one to pick, because they're all kind of the same. They're just brown mammals. I pick this one, I guess. Then Golgo tells us he needs to go see Lanos, and we should join him. Question. Why didn't Lanos just come with us to Golgo's? Or why didn't I just follow Lanos earlier and wait with him for Golgo to show up? There's so much running around, and this D-pad is really not good at all. Also, I still have no idea what I'm doing. What are these numbers that occasionally pop up over my head? Why do people keep stopping me? My starter learned a fire attack, a water attack, and peck. Why does the fluffy dog thing learn peck? Why did this happen? I don't really have anything good to say about this game. I played it for over an hour and just got zero enjoyment out of it. Also, trainers in this game are called evokers, and all I could think about was...
Which more or less represents how I feel playing this game.
I don't like the monster designs, I don't like the writing, I don't like the controls, the battle layout is horrible, the music is decent, there's just nothing about this game I can recommend. Oh, and as an added nitpick, why did the game give me the option of choosing upper and lowercase letters when naming stuff if it was just gonna do the old Pokemon thing of making everything all caps anyways? Hopefully the next game I actually spent money on will be slightly better. Micromon. This game is sort of like if Pokemon took place in the Digimon world. Your player gets sucked into an app they downloaded, and is now in this fantastic world of digital stuff. We're introduced to our Professor Oak type character, this cool hacker nerd guy named
Malk?
And he gives us a device that will let us go back to our world anytime we want. Well, that's handy. I do applaud them for not making this a you're trapped here type deal, so now I feel like I can have a bit more fun. At first glance, I really like the look of this game. The art style is pretty good, and I love how your character communicates via these little emoticon balloons. I was also really surprised to see when it came time to pick our starter that it wasn't just choosing from the equivalents of the Pokemon starters, but you can also choose a wind or a rock type. I'm totally going to start with Christoys here, because just look at his head bob. He's ready to groove out and don't care what you think about him. I have two complaints about this game. The first is the game has a heavy emphasis on vibration. This is pretty annoying, but good news, you can actually turn it off. The second complaint is that while Evo Creo had a really horrible unresponsive D-pad, this game has a really horrible unresponsive virtual control stick that just kinda pops up anywhere. I didn't really enjoy this, but good news! You're stuck with it. That's not good news at all. The monsters in this game are pretty hit or miss design-wise. Some are alright, and I was curious to see what else I'd run into. You know how people love to make fun of Pokemon like Seal or Boldor for their naming conventions? Well, Micromon takes a few similar notes. Behold, Rhino! Not doing anything for you? Well, what about Kakon? Nope. Okay, moving on. Overall, Micromon is not a terrible game. The visuals are nice, the battle layout is good, the writing is a step above some of these other titles. I can certainly think of worse games you could drop $1 on if you're looking for a mobile game to eat up some time. And kids, if an enormous hobo who calls himself Woodpecker stops you in the street and tells you he'll give you special prizes if you please him in multiplayer,
That's no good.
and you should probably call the cops.
7 games. I covered 7 games today, and how many of them were really worthwhile? Yeah, there were some pretty good ones, some okay ones, and the rest, but even the best of them never really captured that same feeling of Pokemon, did it? This isn't right. This isn't how I should end this video. This isn't how I should end the 20th anniversary special of Pokemon. You know what? I've got an idea.
Pokemon has been a big deal to me ever since I first saw some pictures of them in Japanese magazines back in 1996. I had no idea what they were, but I think even back then I knew they were going to be a big part of my life. Pokemon came out in the States in 1998, and I still remember getting Blue version on Christmas morning. I picked Blue version because I liked Blastoise more than Charizard, and I still do to this day. Which is why I'm still wondering what Little John's logic was for picking Charmander as his starter. Nidoran. I'll never forget this moment. Nidoran was the very first Pokemon I ever caught, and he's been special to me ever since. Pikachu? Pfft, I don't need no stinking Pikachu! Get him, Nidoran! Pew pew! Yeah! Take that, you dumb, beloved childhood icon. Nidorino and Charmeleon were a great team that allowed me to take down Brock and carry on with my journey. In Mount Moon, I got a Moonstone, and saw I could use it on Nidorino, allowing me to get a Nidoking, way earlier than I probably should have. So armed with my Blazing Hot Fire type and my down-to-earth Ground type, I proceeded to get my butt kicked by Misty over and over and over again, because little kid John just wasn't very good at Pokemon.
I probably should have caught that Pikachu.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching my video. Happy 20th birthday to Pokemon. This is an emotional day for me, and I know it's an emotional day for a lot of other YouTubers out there who are probably posting their own videos. If you liked this episode, consider giving it a like, or if you'd like to see more from me in the future, you could go ahead and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you remember the first Pokemon you ever caught. And if you want to see me talk about another game that seemed to come from the post-Pokemon craze, I did a review on Medabots AX Rokusho version that you can click on here. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, take care.